Hopefully all of you have the excerpts of contract general conditions that I passed out. If not, I can get you an extra copy. It's not a full set of contract general conditions, but there's some areas I'm going to talk about. First of all, we start with a joke. You have to. So I grew up in the Midwest, and a friend of mine is director of construction back in Indiana, where I grew up. And he said contractors are flooding into the state because they're looking for work. So he had a job that he needed to go out to bid on, but he wanted to get some insight on what the estimated budget would be. There was a contractor from California who got qualified in the state, and so he asked him to go out and measure this fencing and take a look at the foundation. And the California contractor said $20,000 is what he would estimate for the project. And there was a New Jersey contractor who recently got qualified. He went out, took a look at it. He goes, $80,000. I said, $80,000? I mean, I don't get it. He goes, yeah. $20,000 for the permit commission, $20,000 for me, $20,000 for you, $20,000 to do the job, $80,000. So there's a difference on the way we do projects between the East and West Coast. What I'd like to talk about first is some ongoing projects at Calpoly. If you've been across the campus, you may have seen some of the construction. I'd like to talk a little bit about that. The lead-in is the not-so-good news. The state budget is not doing well, continues to not do well. And regardless of whether you like President Bush or you like President Obama, the so-called stimulus money for construction projects is not reaching the CSU. So times are lean. That being said, let me talk a little bit about what's going on and what you may see at the campus and what's coming up, and then I'll go through the how-to process. At any point, feel free to interrupt me. I'm here to serve you. Current projects going on. One that's going out to bid, in fact, is an active out to bid right now with bids due on March 30th, is the Meat Processing Center. This is a slaughterhouse. A friend of mine who's from France calls it an abattoir, which is French for slaughterhouse, and it sounds a lot better. So that's 0% complete. The construction budget on that is $4.98 million. Recreation center expansion, you may have seen, it's a huge project. Construction budget is $50.3 million. It's a CM at risk. The CM at risk is sunk. And they're handling that project. That is 100% student funded from student fees. So no state money involved. It's 100% student fees. But because it's on our campus, obviously we follow the public contract code as far as competitive bidding. That is 1.5% complete, mostly demolition at this point. And again, $50.3 million. Simpson Strong Tie building, which is about 25% complete, is 100% donor funded by Simpson Strong Tie, which if you're in construction, you know what those are. If you go to Home Depot, I made a neat bicycle rack out of Simpson Strong Tie products too. So they weren't donated to me, I had to buy them. That project construction budget is $1.79 million, again about 25% done. The Technology Park project is this goal of an incubator for technology and development and research to try to get some synergy between some of the professors, some of the faculty, and come up with fantastic, new, brilliant ideas that will fuel us into the future. And so it creates office space to do that. It's commercial office space that will be leased out. That project is 72% complete. It's one of the unique ones. There's a little bit of federal money in it. I want to say between 1.5 but under 1.9 million from the Economic Development Authority. And it goes back pre-economic collapse. That money had been dedicated for the project. And then the remainder is donor funded. 72% complete, $4.95 million construction budget. The University Union Plaza renovation. You may have noticed that there's no longer a perimeter road on our campus. I call it the former perimeter road because if you come in on Grand Avenue, you can't go left. And if you look there, you'll see that the University Union Plaza is coming out across there. And then opposite that, you see the Recreation Center expansion. UU Plaza renovation is 100% student funded, 85% complete, construction budget of $1.79 million. So as far as upcoming construction projects, and there's some professional service projects that are out there that I'll talk briefly about, but construction projects, only active one right now, donor funded, is the meat processing center, and I'll talk a little bit about how you can get more information on that. Hoping for the future and hoping to get some budget allocation is the Center for Science, which would be a massive rebuild of our science facilities for science education. $85.6 million construction budget, 975-day construction schedule, and the only thing we're missing, we've got the CM at risk, which is Gilbane construction. The only thing we're missing is $85.6 million. Once we get that, we're ready to go. And literally, we are ready to go. We've got staff and project managers that are chomping at the bit. Yeah?
We have the plans at the Builders Exchange for the meat processing center. They came in this week. So
okay, good.
if anybody's interested in seeing those. Yeah.
Good. And I think we also created a link online, which I'll show you how you can access. So you can either go to the Builders Exchange, which may be easier, or you can take a look online. It's a big download online, obviously. Where things with the state, depending upon who you talk to, a $20 billion to $40 billion deficit expected for the upcoming fiscal year. Depends who you speak to. Campus budget, and I'm just quoting information that comes out from our administration and finance group, estimating just for the Calpoly campus, not the other 22 CSU campuses, just at Calpoly, about a $13 to $20 million budget shortfall. The way it was dealt with in the past year, obviously you all know about the state furloughs, so pay cuts and cutting days worked per month in return for that. That obviously has an impact on services, impact on education. I don't know what will happen in the future. Will it be layoffs? Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. So the picture isn't rosy, but let's talk about ways that you can capitalize and get involved on projects at Cal Poly. Some of you may already know this material, so I just want to talk about different types of projects. Invitation to bid. You're going to see that posting, and I'll show you how to access these on our website. Invitation to bid is typically going to be associated with a design bid build. We go out to an architect or engineer, they develop the plans for the project, we go out on competitive bidding, select the lowest responsive bidder, and build the project. Requests for proposals or an RFP you're typically going to see associated with design build. And design build, some of you I realize may be familiar with it, but I do want to talk just a little bit about what design build is. In design build, it's not the lowest price. You have to come in at or below the construction budget, but we don't have to select the lowest price. What we select is the highest cost per unit quality, so the highest quality point scoring that comes in below the budget. In a design build, we go out with specifications and you submit two different things at the bidding deadline. One is a completely anonymous set of drawings and specifications, your design for the project responding to our RFP, and it is anonymously scored. We have one person in the department who knows which bidder has which number associated with him or her, but the evaluation committee never knows that. And they go through and they take a look. Let's say we're not doing the meat processing center under this method, but let's just use it as a hypothetical. We might say, here's the project budget at $4.9 million, and you come in with this fantastic facility, nice construction, you're going to create a smokehouse at the facility, you're going to create segregated rooms so that there could be kosher meat processing and standard meat processing, and you come in at the budget level. Somebody else could come in at half the budget. They could come in at $2.5 million. Look at me, I'm 50% under budget, and I'm just going to meet the specs. It's going to be a really ugly facility, but it's going to serve the needs. Well, the evaluation committee is going to take a look at that here. I'm trying to sell this software. Hopefully that'll come off of there in a sec. There we go. Ask me later, which means in 30 seconds.